2018, there was a Formula One race in Hockenheim, if I'm right, in Germany. And Hamilton committed a foul. And that foul placed him in the 14th position of the race. I'm a Formula One fan, diehard fan. And trying to win a race from a 14th position is going to be the toughest or the hardest thing you can ever imagine. But being the fact that Hamilton has been racing with several opponents, so he knows their strategy, he knows where to come in, where to utilize the potentials and all of that. And everyone thought that from his position in 14th place, there's no way Hamilton was going to win that race. But watching the race, Hamilton strategized. He was focused and he kept on going. So whenever his opponents moved towards the left, he utilized the next position. Whenever they moved to the right, he utilized the left position. He kept on doing that till it got to the very end and won the race. That was an amazing comeback. The best ever in the history of Formula One. Now I'll tell you another story. I'm another very good fan of wrestling. I don't care what anybody tells me about wrestling. I love watching my wrestling. So there was a time in the same year, 2018, there must be something special about that year. We had the Team Authority and Team Cena. Now, Team Cena were facing an elimination. So the Team Authority are like the authority that owns the wrestling. So they came together with about 5 different wrestlers and said, if Team Cena loses to Team Authority, they will be eliminated from ever competing in any wrestling match again. It was tense, it was fierce. It was a do or die at that stage. And Team Cena, short, tall, big, small, were all there. Why Team Authority worked him? Because even if he lose at this stage, he will still be regarded as a winner. But guess what? He won. So Team Cena won. And the comeback was great. There was a day I was driving and I missed my way. I had to drive about 30 minutes just because I've already missed the direction I was heading. I have to drive about 30 minutes to find myself back to the start. And then I said, okay, I need to use my sat-nav. I had to strategize. There's no point keep going in a direction I have knowledge about. And I used my sat-nav and it guided me and I got to my destination, but I already lost some time. Now what I'm trying to drive here at is comeback. Comeback needs to be strategic. And for there to be a comeback, that means you must be in a disadvantaged position. For there to be a comeback, you must be disapproved of something. You must evaluate and say, okay, things are not working. So I need to stop and I need to strategize. And that is what comeback is about. And from the scenes I've explained so far, you could see that disadvantage was there, right staring at your faces, even on the face of Hamilton and even on the face of Dolph Ziggler, because there was nobody there with him. But he did what? He decided to make a strategic move and brought his team back. And it was the best of any wrestling match I've ever seen. And if you go on the internet and see, they'll say that's the greatest comeback ever in the whole of wrestling. So when you're doing anything, you just need to stop and see, okay, it's no longer working. Let me tell you, like the story of the prodigal son in the Bible. He went his direction. He took everything he needed to take from his father, went in the direction he felt was right for him. And he splundered, did everything possible. And at the point, he said, no, I'm at a point of disadvantage right now. Nothing is working for me anymore. Of course, my friends are with me because they're getting something from me, but when there's nothing, I'm alone. I'm eating from a swine. Why would I do that when I have a mansion back home? And he decided to say, you know what? I'm going back. But the beautiful thing about that story is, if you read your Bible, the father saw him from afar and ran towards him. He was the one that committed all the crimes in the world, but the father ran towards him. So wherever position you think you are right now, you've been running on a fast lane, on a fast track in the wrong direction. It is time to stop and come back. Come back and strategize. Come back to your work with God. So wherever you think you are, wherever thing you think you've done, to you it might seem so great and mighty that the Lord cannot forgive you of. But He's telling you to come back to Him because His arms are wide open, waiting to receive you. And you know one thing about a comeback is when you come back and begin to walk your faith out with God, you already know the devices of the devil. So nothing can sideline you, nothing can distract you, because you know what? When he's coming from a right direction, like Lewis Hamilton spotted, you move towards the left because you know what? You know his devices already. And that is what a comeback assures you of. There is no peace out there that you cannot get from God. So I just want you listening to the sound of my voice and with the hearkening of your voice and the Spirit guiding you. Let's come back. Let's walk with God. Let's come back to our faith. Come back to the old landmark, the place where you first made a commitment to God. And let's begin to walk in that direction. And nothing can swivel us anymore, because why? We've walked that path. We've seen it all. So there is nothing to distract me. So when you see the signs coming like, I know what it is. I've been there. This is the direction. So stop going on 70 or 100 miles per hour on the wrong direction. Let's walk the path of God. Let's come back to grace. Come back to His ways. Remain blessed until I see you next time. Bye for now.